So one of my loyal Patreon supporters asked me, why do some men get attached to some women and not others? All right. And this is something that could cause a lot of frustration, a lot of lack of self-esteem, because we say to ourselves, why don't they like me? Why do they like that fucking bitch? And why not me? Right. That's what we think. So I'm going to answer some of those questions, and hopefully by the end of the video, you could have a bigger picture, because when it's personal, you amplify everything, right? So we're gonna talk about that, and it's important to know this. So the first one is that you just have basic chemistry, right? There is nothing you could do about it. I've made friends with. I remember one time this guy was showing me his room because I wanted to rent it, and we became friends. Why? Because we just had chemistry. Like there's no explanation for it, right? And there are people who you meet, and some men and women that you meet in your life that you just have good chemistry with. They may not be your type, but because you have great chemistry, being with them is intoxicating. And how is that created? It's just a natural process. Just like, why do you prefer burgers over pizza? I don't know. I just prefer it. It's like it's in your chemistry, right? With some people, you have more chemistry than others, and there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. There's a reason why you're better friends with this person over that person, right? And when it comes to the chemistry part, look, like I said, there's nothing you could do about it. You cannot take it personal. It's outside of your control. So that's one thing, right? They both have good chemistry, and it is what it is. And heck, you might even be a better person on paper than the other person, right? You might be a more of a catch. You might be more high value, relatively to the other person. But if the person who you like has more chemistry with that other more loser person per se, like to be in, then there's nothing you could do about it. And trying to force it will only push them away. The second thing is they got caught at the right time. The reason why they may like somebody over you is it may not be because they're better than you. It might be because that person caught them at the right time. I remember I like if I go through like a moment, like periods of depression, I gotta be very careful with the women that I meet, because I could easily create a bond if I project on them. If I feel bad and I try to find comfort through them, I could easily fall in love with them, because if I'm in a bad state, when they disappoint me, it's not just a small fall, it's a huge fall, because things hurt. You're more sensitive, things are more tender, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that person, most likely the reason why they like somebody more than you, even though you might be better, is because that person caught them at the right time. Maybe they caught them on the rebound and they were looking for somebody to love because their ex broke up with them, and then you came, and then that person came out of nowhere and caught them at the right time, and they're like, oh, I want to feel loved, and they gave them the love, and then they transferred the love they have for their ex onto that person. Like that type of transference does happen, right? So they just caught them at the right time. They were emotionally vulnerable, and when you do that, I mean, it creates a love that lasts. I mean, at least for me, it happened to me where, like I never got over my ex, and then I met another girl. She hurt me as much as the ex hurt me, and as a result, rather than healing, the emotions I have from my ex went onto her, right? So that's what happens when they catch you at the wrong time. Another reason why they like them over you is because they hurt them more, right? Unfortunately, some people will only like you if you hurt them, like if you treat them like shit. If you cheat on them, that's when they realize they love you. If you break up with them, that's when they realize they love you. They need to feel some pain in order for them to feel like they want to love you back, right? And when you hurt somebody and you leave them, some people's ego cannot take that. And so they just get obsessed about getting that person. And you might come along and they may actually feel some chemistry with you, but the pain is so great, their obsessive desire to get revenge through getting them back, because it's like redeeming yourself. You can't overcome that, right? When somebody's hurt by somebody and they still haven't gotten over them, that person still has power over them, and they can come back, tell them that they're sorry, right? And you'd be surprised how many people will forgive them. And unfortunately, in order to overcome that, you have to hurt them more than the person who hurt them, right? It gets very slippery, and it's better not to get in that route because your hands get your hands have to get dirty, right? That person's not worth it. So that's one thing, right? The person. So if you meet somebody like that and they've been cheated on by their ex and they're telling you how bad it was and how recent it was, most likely they're not over them, and most likely the ex has power over them. And I would prefer to leave. That's not a winning battle. Like, choose your battles. Choose battles you could win. Like, a lot of people just choose the fucking like you guys choose just Mount Everest. So that's one thing. The next thing is that this person affects a projection, right? A projection is when our emotions cloud reality in such a way that you could cut through the fog, right? So it's kind of like, maybe for example, when you see somebody and they remind you of somebody who you hate, right? And they didn't do nothing, but you just don't like that person. For some reason, you just don't like that person. That's a projection, right? You're not getting to know the person, but you're seeing this person through a schema. Or even, like, for example, it's racism, right? Racism. If you hate black people, as an example, right? You see all black people as bad. Why? Because you're projecting. Just because one black person mugged you doesn't mean every black person is going to mug you, right? But because you're projecting, you just assume everyone is like that. Either because of their behavior or because of the way they look, right? And so some things will activate a projection. For racism, it's the color, right? For dating, it's maybe a behavior. Maybe your dad didn't love you enough. Maybe your dad didn't give you attention. And so when you meet somebody and they don't give you attention, that behavior reminds you of the lack of attention your parents didn't give you. And so it activates then your natural response to not being loved when you were a kid was to chase, as an example, right? And so just like some cues give addicts an urge for the drug, that behavior creates your natural reaction that has been conditioned to chase, right? So then all of a sudden you start projecting. You didn't fix the problem with your dad because he behaved this way. Now you're unconsciously seeing that your dad in that person simply because they behave that way, or they look like your dad. Or for men, she looks like your ex, she looks like your mom, whatever, right? That projection, there's nothing you can do about it. And when somebody, and for example, my ex, no, for example, I was seeing a girl who I didn't like, right? She liked me a lot, but I didn't like her back. But the other girl that I was seeing reminded me of my ex, so I liked her more, right? And the girl that I was talking to had no idea that the reason why I prefer the ex over her was simply because I was projecting, right? And if she was smart, she wouldn't take that personal. But if unfortunately she has low self-esteem, she will take that personal, right? So that's the whole point of projection. Is that you're not really seeing the person, you're seeing a projection. You're seeing a mirage of your own reality, of your own imagination, right? So the projections are created through their behavior or the way they look, right? So that's why some women, if they have daddy issues, they'll date older guys, much older guys, as a way to get approval from daddy, right? As an example. So that's one thing, projection. And again, you can't control this. The next thing is that maybe this person, for example, so another reason why somebody likes somebody over you is because that person maybe doesn't like them back, right? For example, some people will only like you if you don't like them back. They're just they're legit that's toxic, right? Those are toxic people. The only reason why they like some people is because those people rejected them. It's an unconscious way of self-sabotage. It's an unconscious way of running away from commitment. It's an unconscious way of not staying single, but just self-sabotage in a way, right? So that's one thing. She just don't want them. This person doesn't want them. And that's why I tell people to pull away a little bit, be a little distant sometimes. Give them a little space, right? Don't make them feel like you 100 that they 100% have you, right? You want them to always have an inch of like, will they leave? Because if you don't do that, maybe your lack of giving this person the signal that you can leave if they fuck up will create that, this person wants me, I don't want them. But look, if you're at that point, leave them. Seriously, like, I'm not even lying to you. Like, that person, you shouldn't be with people like that. They're not meant for relationships. The next thing is that they get scared off, right? The reason why is because maybe the other person didn't scare them off. and you were so goddamn needy that you scared them off, right? And this is the thing, is that sometimes people do like you, right? There are levels to it. You could be at a 100% liking people, right? I mean, what I'm trying to say is that there are levels to how much neediness a person will handle coming from you. If you meet somebody and you guys have 100% perfect chemistry and you act needy from the start, they're gonna tolerate it because they like you, right? But if they like you at a 60 and you start off really needy, that might scare them off, right? So you want to start slowly, like when you first meet a dog, right? Have them sniff you first, right? Don't start cold and warm up. Don't start warm and cool down. No, start cold and warm up, and this takes discipline. Because the worst thing, the most fucked up thing about dating is not the people who didn't like you for not liking you, it's the people who didn't like you because you fucked it up. That's the worst feeling. And the last thing, this is the most important one, is proximity. The reason why some people like somebody else over you is because they just work together, or they live together, or they have friends together. The proximity factor. That you can't, because proximity is the number one thing that predicts who you're gonna marry. There's a high likelihood you're gonna marry somebody in your city more than somebody who lives in Timbuktu, right? Proximity. And unfortunately, the only way to fix it is to get close, work where they work and whatnot. But that's life, right? And most of these, you see, especially with proximity, the point of this video is to help you understand that most of the time it's not personal. It's not a personal thing. Life is not after you. Some people just don't like you, right? And understanding why they don't like you and not trying to do something about it in terms of try to fix it, right? Have high intention, but just low attachment. These things, honestly, they help me. Honestly, they give me a better perspective. They help me reassess myself a little bit better, and I don't take things as personal as I used to, right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.